who led police reform effort, were key partner previously, and now the European Police Mission and the other European countries largely more committed to trying to build a civilian sort of rule law and order force. And then the third strategy is, as best I can define it, within the Ministry of Interior, of maintaining the status quo. So you have three very different strategies at work and visions in terms of a police force 6 years down the road into police reform efforts, where we're now putting, the U.S. is putting $2.5 billion alone into in this year. So I think in terms of measuring progress, the absolute importance of having a clear sense of what the objective is. A second point in terms of the security forces, Bill talked a bit about the ANA, and I think in terms of the police, I think the concern that progress is often measured and objectives are set in terms of quantitative indicators, in terms of police numbers, rather than qualitative. And there's been, I think, far too much emphasis on quantity versus quality in police reform efforts. Largely, again, driven by the U.S., who have been trying to get police numbers boosted from the compact approved figure of 62,000 to 82,000. But when we actually don't really have any sense of who's being trained, what happens to those who are trained, we don't really have a clear sense of how many police actually exist. The Task Force Phoenix recently did a census of police in Afghanistan and roughly found that only about 48% of the police that their teams identified in an audit in the field actually carried identity cards indicating they had been through training. And I think only 70 to 80% actually existed. So there's still significant large numbers of ghost police out there. But again, more police is not really the answer. That's an important issue, but more police are not going to have a positive impact unless they're effective, and we currently don't have any indicators to determine the effectiveness of police training right now. And then lastly, just to comment on public opinion polling, I really think we need to have a research project in and of itself on public opinion polling. When I see polls that show that the Afghan National Police have an 86% popularity rating in Afghanistan, I think I talked to all 14% who didn't, because I have yet to find someone who has as positive a rating of the Afghan National Police as the public opinion polls indicate. Thank you.
I have on my list